Good morning and happy Friday. A little bit of technical difficulty there for a second, but we're here. Looks like we had some very interesting action overnight in the markets. We hit all-time highs in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 last evening, and it came just out of the blue, or out of the green, as you might want to say. See here, we started off the night. First of all, Nasdaq went wild yesterday afternoon, hit all-time highs. And then it kind of consolidated from the open, just went sideways, nothing exciting at all. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it went up 32 points. Consolidated again, went up more. Consolidated, went up more. Very, odd action for this time of the evening. On a Thursday evening, I'm not aware of any news that caused these bump up. But then it kind of consolidated, kind of started selling off here, looking like about 3 hours ago. Came down decently hard. So you can see we have about 100-point range where it went. The lowest point was its opening candle. Went up 100 points and now pulled back by it pulled back almost 80 points and now it's heading back up again. So definitely some very interesting action going on. The S&P did similar. Hasn't recovered as much as Nasdaq, but the S&P also hit its all-time high. You see it made that same move, just not as dramatically last night. It consolidated, then actually went up one more time right before the Europe opened, and then sold off. So we have almost a 40-point range, which is really big for the S&P. It's gonna be really interesting to see what today brings. Copper, see, I was charting it out there. Copper kind of did the same thing, not let's say the same dramatic moves, but went up. We have a 200 tick range here. Up, sideways, pulling back. Tried to come back. It's now selling off almost right in the middle of its range right now. Oops, not the button I wanted to hit. Gold. Gold is about a 15-point range. That whole range occurred within like an hour and a half here. Big, huge candle. Almost 8 points right here about 3 hours ago. Since then it's came up, hit its highs, pulled back. Now it's trying to head back up. The UltraBond, we have almost a 2-point range. See here, slowly came down sideways, came down, and boom, including this candle here, which is 21 ticks, which is over $600. Then sideways with a slight upward trend. Right now it's at its daily high. Try to break it. Looking back here, we haven't been this high since the 14th, which was last Friday, I believe. No, last Thursday. So about a week. While we're here, we'll draw out the next resistance point, which appears to be And it's knocked down a signal accidentally, which appears to be, yeah. And it's not that far away, it's like 6 ticks. There we go. Let's, boom. Crude oil sold off overnight, and it's at its pretty much almost at its low right now for the day. I guess so, some sort of agreement yesterday with crude something that's causing it to head downward. You can see this is actually a almost over 3.5 points overnight. This is a free fall. You had 78 ticks right in that one candle. It's been an awesome play right here. That would have been from this point here to this point here, it's over $3,000. Natural gas is also selling off. I'm not sure if that's just in sympathy with oil or you know what. Just hit its low here about 20 minutes ago. She is about a point and about a point and 3/4. Just trying to head down further here. What did I cover everything? Boom. Yeah, Russell. Russell also sold off. Russell did not have that dramatic increase that you saw on the ES and the NQ. Came up just slightly, then basically was sideways. Started selling off here right at the Europe Open. And I mean, it has a huge range for the Russell. It's 47 points. That's over $2,300. Although you can see, I mean, yesterday it had a similar range, a similar sell-off. It's been coming down since it hit its all-time high, I believe, back here. So that's our review of the overnight. Now I'll start watching for some moves. Things seem a bit calm right now. Calm before the storm, maybe? We shall see. See, I did already chart out copper overnight, and this is why I want to eventually start trading overnights. So, first of all, we'll go back all the way back to last evening. Would have started off with a loss. I didn't actually take any trades last evening, but started off with a loss. Then this win, and it made this huge move up with no other buy signals here. But if you don't, if you're not using the super trend or whatever, even if it's not giving you signals, you can play the bounces off the SMA line if something's going up. So you could have got in here. Let me see if I have a let's just go with an arrow. You could have got in here, here, there. There. Eh, maybe there. So I've been 5 additional entries to get at least some parts of this move as it was going up. Each pullback you could have, either decide to get in or even add a contract here and there. If you're on a trade, just make sure you don't accidentally go too many. And then, you had the pullback here. Would have got a nice 20 tick win. Came back up, broke the SMA. This buy signal. This would have been a long trade, but a winner. So, as of right now, we're what? We're 3-1. Lost here, thinking it was going to go up further. So 3-2, 3-3. Then look at this. This is starting here, which was just before 1 o'clock my time. So just before 2 o'clock Eastern. And we got 1, 2, lost there, 2-1, 3-1. Big move down. Again, could have got. Never really even came back to the SMA. Right there, would have been a good, maybe you get there a little bit more of this move. Boom. Anyway, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, and now we're in this kind of FUD. Wouldn't have taken this against the SMA line. Wouldn't have taken this into the Bollinger Bands. This is the one I would have taken. I think this would end up stopping us out. Maybe not. Oh yeah. Would not have gone far enough to get my profit target, which would have frustrated me to no end. But there we go. So great, great overnight action. Natural gas, what's it doing? Sending me signals. Trying to bounce. Trying to find some momentum. Chart out the NQ here in a minute. uh, so let's take a look at the NQ. I started charting out the NQ, and we're seeing ES just start selling off here about 6 minutes ago. Is the NQ doing the same there? We fast forward. Yeah, the NQ. I missed this signal as we were going through our overnight synopsis. But I did start charting out NQ before we went live. Yeah. This would have went far enough to trigger my trailing stop, which is what I thought. And then next here. Oh. As usual, if you're joining me this morning, please feel free to say hello in the chat. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, I'll be happy to answer. Always happy to just chat a bit and not just drone on about entry points. Um, Gold. Let's see what gold's calling for right now. Gold is, see, it's heading upwards. And it's trying to send us a sell signal, but I want to see it break that SMA line first. Okay, you're charting out this Nazi. Yep, no, I would not have taken that. Might have taken that though. Let's put this over here. When I chart, I try to be really honest. I try to look at it and decide if I would have taken this or not. And honestly, I probably would have. I'm not trying to artificially inflate my statistics. I gotta be honest. Like this. This one would have worked. Actually, it might not. I mean, yeah, it would have. No. It would have actually stopped me out, honestly. But I mean, I would not have taken this into the uptrending, I mean, the downtrending band. It would been better to wait until it's back over and then take it. But I wouldn't have taken that, even if it would have been a winning trade. And I wouldn't have taken this either. Close or remove that. But I would have taken this. You can see that the moves now compared to earlier, the overnight, they're not going as far. They're not getting that full 15 that I look for. This one would have went enough that it would have stopped me at a little bit above break even. I would have taken this short signal right here, which so far has only went about 8.5 points and is reversed. That would not have gone far enough to trigger my trailing. So we'll see if that would have ended up stopping me out. Let's go back and take a look at gold again. Ooh, so it broke that SMA line. It's now heading down hard. See if I missed that play. It's already gone 1.3. I normally look for 1.6. And it looks like it's going to get there. It went far enough that it would have triggered my trailing. So that was a missed opportunity right there. So yep, that would have got our 1.6. Now we got copper giving us a signal. Buy signal, upward trending bands. Where are we at on the 5 minute? 5 minutes showing also downtrend. So we're not going to go, not going to buy into a downtrend. Trend is your friend, as they say. UBA. UB. You see the UB would have been giving us some great buy signals as this up. That's interesting. The sell signal here, that would have been an interesting one on whether or not I would have taken it. Well above the SMA line. But you can see how it was basically hugging this third band, which indicated a pullback. Right now we're seeing this again above the SMA line. NQ. NQ giving us a buy signal up. We are above the SMA line on the 5 minute. See if that holds. It came back now a little bit. Copper. Oh, so now copper reversed. It gave us that buy signal and immediately followed with a sell signal. This 9-point candle down. That one's gonna bite me. Let's see here. So we see that Nasdaq did give us this long signal, and then immediately pulled back by 5 points. So we'll watch that. If it gets back above where it gave us that signal, we'll take that. UB. I always hesitate to take a trade that where I get the signal above the SMA line, but it's already looking like that. That would have been a good idea here. See copper trying to bounce off that signal there. Agriculture overnight. I didn't look at that. Let's see. Soybean oil sold off. Looks like corn selling. Yeah, we got our 7 ticks out of that signal. So let's see, 1 trade, 2 trades that I didn't take that I should have so far. Copper's going to try to be a third. Nasdaq is kind of just blah right now. You can see that Nasdaq is like right in the middle of its range, and you don't know which way it really wants to go. On the 5-minute here, the trend is just slightly upwards, but when you're dealing with an asset that's near all-time highs, that just broke all-time highs, and seemingly out of nowhere, you kind of hesitant to continue to think it's going to go back up there after it pulls back. And you can see here, at least on the 5-minute chart, since that big move up, on the 5-minute chart, the 2 buy signals would have been bad. 3 buy signals. So it's sending me another buy signal here. Gives me a bit of a pause. So we do see that natural gas was able to pull up from its bottom. Would have looked for 40 ticks off that buy signal. That buy came right as we went on air, so I wouldn't have grabbed it because I wasn't even awake yet. And that would have pulled back enough to stomp us out there on that trade before going. And that's one of those. We talked about this yesterday. When you're doing this long enough, when you're looking at the charts long enough, you start seeing patterns. And this is one I've really noticed. Big move downward, comes back, often sends us a signal when the SMA and the bands are still downtrending. And it sends us a signal and then we'll pull back off that signal for a bit more before finally going. So the goal is really not to get in on that signal. I mean, every now and then that signal will be good right away and it'll go. In this case, you would have wanted to just, let me remove that. I'll put it back later. put out this line. You see it pull back, and then once it broke above this line, that's when you want to get in. You can either, get in right on that candle, as it was breaking it. That was a pretty decent sized candle, 23 ticks. Or you could just got in on this candle. We got it at 4.905 and we're taking up to 4.948. So we got 43 ticks out of that. It's $430. Just waiting. Not immediately jumping in on that. Waiting for it to pull back again until your bands were at least going sideways or started even, you can see the bands are already starting to expand back out. And that's where you can get in after that one pullback. That's becoming a pretty classic play. Even here, this is a little less dramatic. Get this pullback here, came up into the bands, rejected off the bands, went sideways, and then went. Crude oil's making new lows. Russell's saying hello. So we just hit 8 o'clock on the East Coast. So let's see what things are going to do here. So we often see an increase in volume right around this time. NASDAQ is heading up here. So this would be a good buy signal, obviously. Gold continues to move downward. Copper. What came up to stop me out there on that short signal. UltraBond continues to pull back. Chart this while we wait for the next good signal. This is where I left off last night. Would have gave me one good signal here, and this one would have. Oh, well, let's see what the ES wants to say. Buy signal here in the ES, which is kind of lagging behind the Nasdaq. You see here, Nasdaq sent us that signal 10 minutes ago. ES is just still kind of sideways. Wait for the next signal. Anyway. So you see, this would have taken a while to finally there. Maybe that would have knocked me out. And it's hard. This is, the UltraBond does not have a lot of volume in the evenings and the start of the overnight. So, you know, getting in any of these signals probably wouldn't have made sense. But this one's the first one. The next one would have made sense. Crude oil. Let's check it. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me there. dominating downtrend there. You see that natural gas is really going. It's bounced, hit this low here, and now it went up over a full point. So it went up $1,000 since 6:30, about the last 6:20 to now in the last 40 minutes. Kappa. Copper's trying to come back. Big green candle here. Well, 14 ticks. Back above the SMA line, heading up. But you want to be careful. You see this move happening down here. I just knocked down a signal accidentally. Yes, again, okay. But it's the same move as here, basically, where it pulled back and then dumped. Though we're well above that SMA line now. Do have a buy signal. 20 seconds on this candle. Find myself a HQG chart. There we go. Signal went away. Pulled back now. Okay. So it decided it didn't want to do anything right now, so we'll go back to charting out UB. So this was the first one that would have made sense for me to take. And this would have eventually actually worked. When you're this low in volume though, honestly, you don't know what you would have, taken in slippage. It's almost like a 50-50 shot. Not have taken that. Would have taken that. Gold wants attention. The attention. Gold. Gold bouncing back up to the SMA line. Kind of bounced off that third Bollinger Band on the 5-minute. Up here by 8 ticks. ES continues to call my name. See the NQ still going up. Bring up an ES chart. Why not? Why not? I don't really like trading ES, but if it wants to start giving us a little bit of movement, we can give it a try. It's kind of just blah. Gold. Gold's giving us this buy signal as well. We're going to go, let's find us a gold chart. There we are. GC, 1. And, oh, get in on the bid here. See the chart. You see what I'm looking at here? It's kind of just fluctuating right at, it's still downward trending SMA line, so I'm hesitant. I'm trying to see if it's going to give me any definitive direction here before I try to limit order in. Yeah, this is more looking like a bounce off the band. So I thought that was fast. Yes, if we had gotten in there, it would already be down 6 ticks. It's still going down. So that was a band bounce. Let's see. So I was choosing between that and the ES. Let's see what the ES did. Eh, ES went up 3/4 of a point and it's pulled back, so it's not really giving much direction either yet. We'll go back to charting out the UB until something tells me what it wants to do. Until something screams, hey, I want to go up, or I want to go down. And you see we have this strong downtrending SMA line here now. So at this point I would not take any buy signals. And just these short signals. They really should say short and long and not buy and sell, but get what you pay for. This indicator's free. So you see, this has been, as this is going down, 3 straight wins on the UB after this long loss. And this is the bounce. And this is another one of those bounces that it would have been below the SMA line, and I would not have wanted to take that at all. Especially not after the strong downtrend. You still would have had a strong downtrend. Well, I mean, you would have had a downtrending SMA line, downtrending top Bollinger Bands. Now, the time to take this, if you're going to continue to watch the chart, see how it went straight over, and then right here it broke the SMA line. You see your bands were starting to expand. So this would have been the entry, and you can see that's actually the start. I mean, now honestly, I mean, this would have been a winning. Taking this trade would have been fine. It only pulled back by like 2 or 3 ticks, so obviously this would have been a winner, but it would have been a more risky winner and one I wouldn't have taken until I saw it break the SMA. Now, would I have seen it break the SMA because I don't get alerts if it breaks an SMA and it didn't give me another buy signal? Probably not. So this would have been, I would have lost the chance to get in on this move. But right there on that candle or that candle was the better entry point. And you can see this was a huge move. And a very interesting looking band there. Let me see if I have the band set up right. Let's try a different moving average there. I thought that was looking kind of weird. So, actually, this is where it would have broke on the regular SMA. So either way, but that was the start of that move, and it really didn't give us any real definitive pullbacks to get, jump in right here, and that was basically it. ES is telling us something again. Yep, so that ES signal would have been bad. You see it here, down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Would have came up. I mean, if we would have went for a 1-point scalp, that would have worked. Now it's pulling back again down to the sell. It's near its low of its range. We see the Nasdaq's pulling back here some as well, about 11 points. Continues charting out this UB. I mean, this is an interesting move. This big strong move upwards, kind of consolidated, fell below the SMA, went back above the SMA. And if you're using the SMA line as an entry point, that would also give you 7 ticks. This short signal here would have made me nervous, but there's no reason that I would not have taken it based on the way I take trades. But there's no way it's gonna give me 7 ticks, so that's gonna be a stop out right there. Nasdaq just gave me a signal. Nasdaq very close to sending me a short signal. Would not have taken this short above the SMA. Would have taken this long. And that would have given us 7 ticks. This one, I don't think we have uptrending bands. I really doubt I would have taken that, but this is, charting out supposed to be worst case scenario. So That would have stopped me out there. See, we got another signal there, which may have been just good enough for me to get out and reverse anyway. So that would have given us that win. Up here, see, now this is the opposite of that one I showed you earlier. This came down, uptrending bands, sell signal. Again, better. This, uh, now this wouldn't have stopped you out unless you had a really, really tight stop. But still, the better entry wasn't on the signal, but waiting for the pullback. So the band said at least straightened out, and then getting in on that one. So if we got in there, would have given us 7 ticks. If we got in, that was actually the better one right here. It only would have given us 6 ticks, but enough to move my stop to like a tick above break even. This buy signal would have done the same thing. Buy signal, pulled back, and then went. NQ again. Let's see. NQ trying to sell off here. Coming down. See, we are above the SMA line on the 5-minute. And we see this has been kind of choppy now for 2 hours. Up, down, no follow through either way. So I'm hesitant to get into anything until it shows me it can break some way or the other. ES has been the same way. UB, let's continue charting that. And we're caught up. So it's giving back all the gains that it made on this last leg of this move up. But you can see that, it would have given us 1, 2, that was a break even, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 8, 3, 9 wins, 3 losses since the open. That's a 75% win rate. Can't complain about that. We can, but no reason to. I haven't been paying it. I missed the copper signal earlier. And that would have been a great signal, it looks like. It's the problem with watching too many assets is you tend to miss some of the signals. And why I always recommend that new traders find 1 or 2 they like and watch them. Now, that said, I have started working on, these are all 1-minute charts. And since I follow them mostly, I'm not sure why I have this E-mini copper down here. What's that supposed to be? Gold, crude, natural gas. What am I missing? What do I have in the other? S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, UltraBond, natural gas, crude, gold, copper. Wait, did I take copper out of it? Yeah, I did. Oops. I must somehow put the E-mini copper in there, and you see, that doesn't get much volume. I think I wanted to experiment on something with that. I still want to, but not today. But yeah, I might just focus on watching the 1-minute charts. 5-minute charts can tell you stuff, but when I chart, I never look at the 5-minute chart. So maybe I'm over analyzing and missing trades that I would normally take. It's just something I'll be doing this weekend to do analyst. Analysis, not analyst. So again, thank everyone for joining me this morning. Looking for a few good trades in this bit of a wild market, although things are calm right now. Feel free to say hello. The chat line is open. 1-800-MIGHTY-OX. Oh, maybe we did find a movement down here. Not really. Let's move down. Right now, if I'm going to take these signals, I got to look for maybe 5 points because we're not going much either direction, and really haven't been since this last leg up. Natural gas giving a signal. Not sure what signal is giving us. Looks like it finally found, came almost all the way back up from this bottom. Now it's breathing a little. So we see crude here, came down a little bit more and is trying to bounce now. What was that last signal? Oh, natural gas again. Okay, we're coming up on 8:30. Let me quickly grab an economic calendar. I don't know if there's anything. Yesterday I got caught flat-footed by some news that happened right at 7:30. Let's see whether or not there's anything going on today. Friday. I don't see anything. Looks like next Wednesday, though, we have some a bunch of stuff coming out. Wow. Yeah, next Wednesday is going to be interesting. Right before Thanksgiving, we have uh, domestic income report, um, jobless claims, consumer spending, core inflation, and FMOC minutes. All right before the Thanksgiving break. Wednesday could be wild. We might even want to do an extended session. Uh, I'm scheduled for a morning that before Thanksgiving, so that might be interesting. I see natural gas here is pulling back, but I don't see anything from this morning that's gonna cause anything that's gonna rock our world. Hmm. Copper, strong move upwards here. gold doing the same thing. Gold's moving up as well. See this again, this move on gold here. We got the signal here. It pulled back and then went. I'm seeing this more and more, and I really got to start paying attention to it and either honing in on that chart, waiting for it to pull back and then move. Because I mean, honestly, this is only 3 minutes of time. Because that would have been an excellent move here. Or figuring out, drawing the line and putting an alert on it, which TradingView allows me to do. You know, if I got in here, or even here, this would have been more realistic after it definitely broke that SMA line. I mean, yeah, SMA line. I mean, I'm not sure what caused that huge candle there, but would be up 3 points. ES. I'm not sure what the ES is trying to do. ES is kind of curl up here, but right now the indices are sleeping. But anyway, this is one of the beauties of TradingView. One of the things I love about it is the alerts. So let's say, made this line here. This is, gave me the signal here, which means I would have got in here, but obviously I was waiting for that pullback or SMA line. So I would have just drew the line out and waited for that break, which would have been here, then here. So I can do this, add an alert on that ray, and when it crossed, I would have got an alert. I could set it once per bar, so I could keep going back and looking until I liked what I was seeing, and then could have got in. As you can see, normally at this time of day, I'm looking for 35 ticks. It hasn't quite got there yet, but it's far enough up that it would have triggered my trailing stop to at least be break even. And these are the things you start seeing and noticing the more you look at charts. It's why when you're learning to trade, screen time is very important. You start learning patterns, you start learning how things move. You start seeing the same things over and over again. Does it work every time? No. But if you start noticing something that's working more often than not, that's, those are the types of moves you want to jump on. Platinum selling off. So you see where the Nasdaq's hugging the SMA line on the 5 minute and moving down on the 1 minute. This short signal might have ended up being good. Came there. So far it's only, I mean, it hasn't gone a lot. 6.5 points. You could have went with a 1-to-1 stop, looking for 5 points there. Good morning, John. How are you today? you trading this morning, or are you having to go into work? Absolutely. Not that my weekends are anything exciting, but I do get to catch up on sleep. I average about 5 hours a night during the week. Ah, great. I have no idea where today's going to go. Wackiness during the Asian session, hitting all-time highs, sitting in the middle of the range on the Nasdaq. Kind of curious to see what happens. Tesla pre-market hasn't seen much action. Very spotty, very spotty volume. Sitting at about 1102 right now. Copper just deciding to go without me there. This is how quick things happen if you're not paying attention. I missed that signal there. I hate jumping in, once the signal's fired and it's gone a little bit, because it always tends to reverse as soon as I jump in. And I mean, this has gone up over $750 a contract since that signal. Yeah, ES and NQ are wild. That I was there. I was there watching the charts. I was doing a couple other things as well. And then this candle happened, and I'm like, what the heck? 32 points out of nowhere at like quarter of 9 Eastern, and I'm like, where did that come from? What what drove that? Usually you get a big move like that, there's some sort of news, and I don't. What news comes out that late at night on a Thursday night? You see, now it has like no direction. It's just kind of up, down, up, down, up, down by like 5, 10 points the most. Gold. Gold's pulling back. You see that it's pretty tight here on the 5-minute chart, band to band. Was there something you saw that made you get in minutes before? I'm looking at the chart. If I go back to the 1 minute, let me see. I mean, this looks kind of sideways. What were you looking at to catch that move? Why do I do it the hard way? There we go. What's that signal I knocked down? And natural gas. Natural gas, natural gas. There. So natural gas is going sideways after it's moved back up. Copper's slowly grinding up. Yeah, okay. I think, let me see, the super, when we go back again, back in time. It's turn back time. See, I don't know. I always hear people say when they get lucky, they should play the lottery after. And I'm always thinking to myself, well, maybe you just used all your luck on that. Whatever happened, and the lottery would be a waste. I mean, I did get you. I did also, the super trend also sent me a buy signal, like 7 minutes before the big boom. You look here, but it just looks. I don't know if I would have taken it because, obviously I was in this buy. I would have been in this buy trade off of this move here, and it would have never gave me the 15 points up until the boom. So I mean, if I had been in this trade here from here, I would have caught a good part of that move. But I just look at this, and this was such just doing nothing this whole way here that I don't know if I would have jumped on that signal. And it is weird. I mean, if you look at the volume here, these candles, 19, 22, 29, 93 was the high leading up to it, and the 42, 13, 34, 29, 20, 28, and then 1,756. So it jumped from 28 the candle before to 1,756. And of course, then you had some increased volume afterwards, and then it just, kind of died back down, and then another big boom here, and it's interesting. And then out of the blue comes another one a couple hours later for 1,500. Now we're just kind of watching copper, watching everything for. So we got an opposite signal here on gold. Never really reached my 35 ticks that I was looking for, but it would have gotten close enough that we would have got some profit out of that. Now it's coming down. Again, this time of day I'm looking for 35 ticks. It's gone 12 so far. Looking for a good signal to get into where I'm not talking and explaining something at the same time and miss it. That was a bummer. So you see how this one went, but this would have stopped me out. Pulled back by exactly 20 ticks and then went. UltraBond, what's it doing? Maybe we can get rid of this line that I was using to illustrate a point. So it's pulled back, come down. Strong, it tried very strongly to reverse here and failed with 5 ticks, but would have got back in on the renewed sell signal, or short signal. Need to reprogram the script. Not that I know how to program. Just say short and long instead of buy and sell, and that would have given us another 7 ticks. So far, the morning here seems a little bit slow. I don't know if everyone jumped in the party last night and sleeping in today or what, but we don't seem to have a lot of signals being called out. Not a lot of real obvious action. I'm sure that'll change here in about an hour, but everything is kind of, looking rangy right now. So I do want to thank everyone for joining me this morning. Remember, if you're on YouTube, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also subscribe. I love to have you here each morning and evening that I do this. Next week is Thanksgiving, so the stream schedule's a little bit off, and I need to figure out how to get the stream schedule up on my YouTube page. It's something I'm gonna have to figure out over the weekend. But next week, just one evening session, Monday night, and then we'll be live 3 mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. NQ. NQ trying to move back up again. Now at this point, for NQ to really catch my eye, but strong, but we're seeing both strong moves here on the S&P and the Nasdaq. But I really kind of want to see it get above this previous high from 20, 30 minutes ago, 7:10. So yeah, 30 minutes ago, right here. It's about 5 points away from there. But we are starting to see higher highs, and I'm not much one for drawing trend lines. I say that every time I draw a trend line. But, we can see this here, that we have been seeing these higher highs. So if it continues to follow along that trend line, it's got some movement to go. Though we did just hit a third Bollinger Band and it pulled back. You see, trend line here would be up at 69. We're at 55. It's kind of making a bit of a channel here. Kind of a boring morning right now. Not right this, yeah, right at this period. Copper's just continuing to head up. Copper's getting real near its session high. Gold still trying to push down off that short signal earlier. Guess I could continue charting since there's nothing going on. Sure, y'all just love watching me chart. But it does save me work over the weekend. So you'll watch me chart. And you'll like it. So I wouldn't have taken that, wouldn't have taken that, even though it would have worked. I shouldn't take that, but I probably would have. Should not take something that close to the Bollinger Bands. Wouldn't have taken that. This is an extreme example of what I was talking about earlier, where you get the signal after a strong downtrend into the bands and it pulls back. You see how much it pulled back here and then finally went. Now, this is, also weird because it would not have worked. At least not for more than a scalp. You see here, you waited till you got above the SMA line, and even here it was still downtrending. We'll check crude here in a second. But you got in here, and I mean, it only would have went 7 ticks before it failed. So this is one of those places where that would have failed. Either, no matter, even if you would have got in here, it would have failed. So let's go check what crude dog is doing. Crude's giving us a short signal here. Again, into upward trending bands. So we'll want to wait to see it start to straighten out before we get it. Next signal here we would have taken was here. Oops, just knocked something down. Natural gas. Sorry, natural gas is the neediest thing. It sends me so many signals. I think there's a buy there, but I don't know. I'm confused by what natural gas is doing here this morning. That's the weird part about this morning is you're not really, nothing's giving direction, nothing's trending, everything is kind of shaky. See, there's Pierce of this band here that came at 324 Eastern. I've been an interesting play right there. If you rested an order on the third band, right around 1856, almost would have guaranteed this pop back up, and it went up to 1858 too. Would have got like 15 ticks out of that. big power moves up there. Here's another one of those same moves. Short signal with uptrending band into coming up into bands that were also uptrending. Bounces off, goes back to the SMA line, and it comes back down and breaks. So again, draw this out. Entry point there, waited for it to pull back. So you hadn't waited for it to pull back. 64, 6, 65. It would have pulled back 10 ticks. I use a 10 tick stop loss, so that would have stopped me out. But waiting for it to pull back, wait for the next red candle to close below it would have been here, and then you could have rode this down. So this is one that I would not have taken that would have worked. This would have won 18 ticks off this. Because it was downtrending SMA line, I would not have taken it. I would have taken this next sell. Which may or may not have worked. Let's see. Yeah, there it eventually worked. Now, this one would have been tough. The SMA line was slightly downtrending here when you got the signal, but it was almost parallel. So taking, you also had slightly trending down. This was an iffy. You can see it would have worked, but I honestly can't say I would have gotten in that trade after analyzing it. It easily would have worked. It was actually the start of an uptrend. That one would have stopped me out. And now we're back to present time. And this one would have got this, so this short signal here that I should have taken would have got me to my profit target. So coming up on to 9 o'clock, we usually see the energies kind of pop around 9. I don't even know if there's still an actual pit at the mercantile exchange, but the crude pit used to open at 9 o'clock. I think that even though I think things are all electronic now, still seems to be a pop at that time. Copper may be finally. Oh, we got a pullback here on copper. Short signal. Strong uptrend. So who's out there? Who is traded this? Who is trading this morning? Anybody taking any trades this morning yet? I've missed a few that I should have taken. I seem to say that every stream. It's gonna be one stream. You're all gonna be part of it, where I just take every trade and I could make like $10,000, which would be really bad because I'm still in an evaluation. I'm totally below the consistency rule. So we are still seeing, you know, Nasdaq kind of crawl up this channel. It did break that previous high um, of this move, not the high of the day. High of the day still way back here. Big move up there to looks like 590. Yeah, 16,590. Be interesting. Like I said, I'm not one to do trend lines and channels. It's kind of interesting to see how, higher high, working on a higher high now. Bounce here on gold. Now you can see we had a strong trending downward trend of the SMA. So this is going to be one of those where you get the signal, it pulls back, and then you get in. Let's watch it. So, let's see what it does here. This could be one that ends up, no, see, pulls back. So let's do this. I drew the line. Now if it just goes, it just goes. But I'm expecting it to pull back first and then go up. We'll see. Crude. Try to pop up here as we get into the 9 o'clock. Let's watch this gold trade, or watch this gold price action. Blow it up. No reason not to blow it up. Yep, here's the pullback. Oh, all right. Well, that was an interesting move. Let's see what it does. So maybe, of course, trying to show an example here. This is going to be a time where it just goes. Okay, there's the 9 o'clock hour. Sitting on gold, it sends me. It's kind of straddling that line I drew out. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna go there. So I mean, one time this might have worked right off the bat. You know, it lines at 62.2. It's already up to 62.9. So this would have worked, of course, because I was trying to show an example. That would have been a nice entry. So as 9 o'clock hour hits, you see crude dump down here by 21 ticks, 22 ticks. I do want to thank the gold traders who totally blew out my example. See if we see anything here. We have so Nasdaq dropped 5 points on the top of the hour there. S&P also dropped. Looks like this gold's gonna go on me. I should. So getting in there. Let's see if it gives us that 3.5 points I'm looking for. And see if I just need to just start taking every trade. Really starting, I'm going to rearrange my charts over the weekend, where I have 4 charts of the top 4 things I like to trade, which would end up being gold, NQ, UltraBond, and copper. And I'm just going to watch those charts and make my moves off the charts and see what happens. UltraBond has bounced back up here. Somehow I missed that sig. Oh, that's right. I don't have I need to put an alert on the 1 minute chart. I wasn't using the 1 minute chart on the UltraBond. I was using the 2 minute. And I mean that would have worked as well. It looks like, or it would have given me a slightly later signal. It looks like it would have worked. It would work here eventually, but the 1 minute chart's giving me good entries. Now I got to see whether or not they're viable based on how much slippage, because there isn't a lot of movement, but there's decent volume. As we approach the New York Open, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Please feel free to say hello in the chat. No one's chatting this morning. You just keep hearing my voice drone on and on. Anybody traveling this weekend for preparing for Thanksgiving? Hey, Razzie! Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? CL. Focusing on CL. What do you see in CL there, Razzie? You used to post on the Discord and I haven't seen you there either for a while. Oh, by the way, when I'm here imploring people to chat, obviously if you're concentrating on trading and you're just listening to me, do not feel obligated to to chat, because I know that trying to type while trading can be uh, distracting. So just because I'm sitting here talking to myself, you don't let it distract you from your trading. So I didn't get in this trade because I was gonna use it as an example, and you can see the goal would have given me 3.5 points plus, and gotta love it. Actually, that happened twice now with gold. I tried to use it as an example back here as well. Gold's just going right now. It's blowing up. It's hard to blow up gold. So thank you, gold, for helping me look like a fool. Natural gas pulling back. Crude pulling back. So we're still in this channel, and I guess I have no idea if I even drew out a channel right, because I don't do channels. We're still in this channel as Nasdaq's continuing to try and kind of push upward. I mean, it made another of this move, another new high, but only by a few points. It's gonna be interesting here, when the bell rings at 9:30, whether or not, which way it goes. Does it go back toward its high? If we look at it on the 5-minute chart here, it came down, bounced here, bounced again, and it's staying above the SMA line on the 5-minute. So, it'll be interesting to see whether or not it, continues upwards. I mean, are we just going to see constant upwards momentum and constant new highs? You got to think there's going to be a correction somewhere. And you can't even say this was Tesla driven. It really wasn't. Tesla hasn't really done much this morning. So I just don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going. I only know where we've been. Come for the trading, stay for the music. Cool. I knew you'd been talking a bunch, and then you kind of like just fell away, and I didn't see it. Also, I was wondering if everything was okay or what was going on. Oh yeah, I haven't done that little disclaimer yet this morning. Not disclaimer, but explanation. I run something called Restream to be able to simultaneously stream to Twitch and to YouTube, and it allows me to see the chats in one chat, but it doesn't allow you guys to see each other. So if you people on YouTube are hearing me talk to somebody, you don't see anybody typing and wondering if I'm talking to myself. Nope, I'm talking to someone on Twitch, and vice versa. If the Twitch people see me, hear me responding to somebody and they don't see any chatting, it's because I'm talking to someone on YouTube. I see it all in one. So I'm not sure if John's still here. He's been quiet for like half an hour now. But Twitch and YouTube people, there you are. One day I'll be able to figure out how to position this into the stream so you can always see it, so you aren't like wondering who the heck is saying what to who. But for now, this is how I do things. I actually hope to have a more professional stream as I go along. I've only been streaming now for like 2 months. Been that long? 2 months? September, October? 2.5 months, I guess. Still working on figuring it all out. Kappa? Kappa, Kappa, Kappa. Kappa, give me another cell signal. Kappa looks like it wants to come down. See it bopped up here and... Whoa, where everything, all that come from? Okay, so what just happened? Oop, big spike up here on NASDAQ. 8.5 points. Spike up there. Copper trying to come down. This uptrending SMA line. Now see, this is part of my conundrum. If I was charting out, I wouldn't even be looking at this. I would just take this sell signal, the short signal. Well, okay, it went away now, but my point is, I would have just taken it if it had finished, and so without looking at that. So maybe I need to stop looking at that because I think it's stopping me from taking good trades. About 16 minutes from the bell. Crude oil is sending a signal. Sure, Razzi's all over that. UltraBond sending me a signal. Ooh, pull back down into uptrending bands. Kind of bouncing off that Bollinger Band. Also have a 200 period EMA here. That's not easily seen. I gotta fix that. Now it's seen. So Gold here, I mean gold, copper here came down. This is a pullback. You see the pullback. This pullback here is basically the same here. That's kind of sideways. Tried to come up, got rejected, back down. Tried to come down, now it's rejecting back up. It almost looks like this might go back up. We are about 35 ticks away from its high of the day. Gold does not usually, I mean gold, why do I keep calling copper gold? It's going to get upset with me. It's going to smack me. Copper usually does not react much to the open, the New York Bell. Oh, so we have these, so, this is an interesting move that NQ here made. I drew out this line as its previous, when it went up here to its high, bounced off that area 3 times there, tried, pulled back, came up, pulled back, then it tried again. It made it a little bit above and then violently rejected. And very, that's a very big move going into the open here. Violently rejected basically off of 16,569 down, and we're all the way down now to 545. So 50, 45, 55, 65. So about a 25 point move downward off this here. Our high for the day is 16,590. And we're still sitting about just right in the middle of the daily range. But meanwhile, we're seeing divergence here. It's unusual to see the ES and the NQ going different directions. But ES has actually gave us a very good buy signal right here on this 1 minute chart, just as NQ started dumping. It's the ES went up over 8 points. So that's interesting. Is Tesla doing anything right now? I always look at Tesla when the NQ starts dumping, even though it affects both the NQ and the ES. So, and no, Tesla's just kind of not much going on there. There's a couple days that if you looked at what Tesla did in the morning, you could almost overlay Tesla and Nasdaq's chart, NQ's chart, and it was making the same moves. That was an excellent move there, Razzie on crude. I should have taken that trade. Beautiful. Wow. That's popped up. Wow, that holy crap, it's running. Going kind of parabolic. It's up $1,000 in the last 4 minutes, I believe. Wow, Razzie, how much of that move did you catch? I'm upset that I missed that. Big time upset. That would have made my day. We are about 10 minutes from the New York Bell, or the Chicago Bell, or the bell that starts everything in the U.S. Excellent job, Razzie. Excellent job. I forget, Razzie, are you doing an eval, or are you just trading your own brokerage account? Great job, John. So John on YouTube and Razzie on Twitch both are in profit today. Excellent. How far along are you at, Razzie? By the way, I'm muting here in the middle of this conversation at times because I'm, as normal about this time, I'm having some eggs for breakfast, and I don't think you want to hear me chew, but I'll answer, and if anything pops here, I'll definitely jump on. We'll keep a watch on the charts. Now I have the hiccups. Crap. Absolutely take your time. And too many people do try to rush and end up blowing it. Take your time, let it come to you, and just take good trades. If you look here on the 5-minute chart on the NQ, this is perfectly a perfect bounce off the third Bollinger Band. That's why I like watching the third Bollinger Band. Perfect bounce. If I would have could have rested an order on the third band there, I would have caught that reversal from 30 up to 41 and then continue on to this candle up to 52. That's a 22-point bounce off the third band. Have a good day, Razzie, if I don't see you later. But great job this morning on that trade. Okay, breakfast has been chewed and swallowed. We're about 3 minutes away from the U.S. Open. What do you think, guys? We're going to go long or short here at the Open? Hey, Jay. How you doing? NQ. NQ's trying to go long here right before the Open. See, we're up 18 points on this 5-minute candle. Hope you had a good day in class, Jay. Uh-oh. Jay, did you see what NQ did last evening? What's that? Uh, I don't have time to look back, but all of a sudden at like 8:45 Eastern last night, NQ shot up 30 points. Well, here you can see here on the 5-minute chart real quick. Just consolidating, and then boom, boom, three booms over like 2 hours, hitting all-time highs in the evening. So it wasn't even like news driven. When I have no idea. So here we go. 10 seconds to the opening bell. NQ is showing a lot of movement right before the bell, which is unusual. Usually gets kind of silent until the bell. So let's see what happens here. Starting off with a green candle so far. 30 seconds in. Now we're red. Now we're green. It's like Christmas lights. Kind of appropriate for this time of year. There we go. Now we're red. Bump, 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 bump. It's indecisive, that's for sure. Overall, since the open, Nasdaq's down 9 points. S&P's only down 4.5 points. I shouldn't say only. It's right now. It seems like direction is down, We just blew through the 200 period SMA on the Nasdaq, as it's now down 22 points. S&P coming up to upward trending bands here, so that'd be interesting to see what happens. Oh, big move down. Yep, we're down 33 points on the Nasdaq now. Now we're seeing green on both. Real quickly, let's check see if anything else is doing anything. So copper had a pull back, and then once it got above that SMA line again, it went. It's actually just made a new daily high. Gold bounced up, hasn't given us a new signal. UltraBond just passed its SMA line. This is another case of these have been great trades to make. Crude oil sideways since that big boom that got Razzie is $680. Natural gas is also kind of sideways. Russell really didn't react to the open much at all. Dow has fallen. Let's go back to our two main indices. Still showing some downward trending momentum here. Honestly, I expected down because of hitting all-time highs last night, but the market's so wild that you can't go in with a bias thinking that it's going to do one thing or the other. ES has actually given us a better solid move than, well, I mean, I guess it's been about the same now that I look at it. ES didn't send us this buy signal right before, though, but we'd gotten in on that short signal there, and I would have never gotten in on a short signal right from the opening candle there. But it would have went down 20 some. Now looks like it might want to hop back up. Playing the open is very, 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 very hard. Playing the open is almost like gambling. I hate people who think that, you know, trading is gambling, but when you play the open, it's you really don't. At least I don't know which direction it's going to go. Now those that play order flow, they might have an advantage there. Uh, John, are you still here? Did you make any plays at the open? Yep, exactly. See here on the 5 minute chart that, you know, it's completely regained everything it lost on the first 5 minute candle after the open here. It's completely regained as a 25-point candle here. Not even really much commentary I could say. We did get a long signal here on the Nasdaq, but I am not trusting that yet, and I might regret that. We'll see if it gets above the previous high before the open. You see it kind of almost hit there of that 15,569 level. That seems important. It's bounced off that level several times. If it gets above there, then you could see it go back up to its high of the day, which is 15,690. Gold's kind of going sideways. Copper bounced off its high of the day and kind of hanging around there. UltraBond came down, went back up. Now it's going back up. Crude had that head of steam earlier. Is now sideways. Natural gas is sideways. Russell's sideways. Agriculture, whoa. Big opening candle there on soybean oil. That's an interesting looking candle right there. And then rejected. Corn did the same thing. Interesting. Copper giving me a short signal. Trying to. Hello, Stephen Lee. How are you today? Yeah, sideways here. Last 4 minutes have been red, green, red, green. Taking any trades yet today, Stephen? Are you trading? Are you watching? Are you sim trading? Are you here by accident? Why did I draw that line out? I can go away. What alert was that? Copper again. Copper's being an attention hound. sends me the alert and then reverses. I mean, these are giving each of these candles are going that direction 5 points. So you could, if you could be quick enough to scalp 5 points each candle, that would be great. I'm not that good. Really, no direction, definite direction. Good job. Every little bit adds up. It can be very nerve-wracking to be an NQ when it's just doing this. Two straight green candles now on the Nasdaq. It seems like maybe it's trying to push up. Again, we want to see it get above this 15,570 basically. If it gets above there, that could definitely be a signal of a long as it tries to get back up to its daily high, which is its all-time high. ES is basically sideways as well. See Tesla here. Tesla give a big green candle here, which could be driving Nasdaq's move upwards now. A $7 candle followed by a almost $4 candle. So Tesla's up almost $11 in the last 3 minutes. Dee, 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 dee. Oh, there we go. It just broke that level. It's heading up. NQ chart. NQ. So let's see if it can make it to the all-time highs. Or back there. Oop, already pulled back. As fast as I could bring up a chart. It pulled back. Exactly what I was going to do, but it immediately pulled back before I even had a chance to get an entry. If it comes back up to 74, I will go for it, but this is a strong 13-point pullback here. I really thought once it broke that 69 level, it was going to head up toward the highs. Oops. There we go. Let's try to come back now again. Definitely not giving us one direction or the other this morning. Put this chart to the side for now. And let's see if anybody else is doing anything exciting. Not a lot of excitement here right now. Gold continues to kind of grind up. Did send us a long signal on this 5-minute chart here. The UltraBond still kind of grinding up. Crude, I missed this short signal. Trying to get back some of its gains. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. There, and yeah, this would have given me 30. I'm not sure how I missed that signal. I gotta get better at watching these charts. Good job, John. Up, copper, new daily high. 15 tick candle there. Bumping into the Bollinger Bands. Yeah. John has a good call. It went back through that level and back up. I really think it wants to get back up to that high. And it's almost there now. I'm here. Slow. I'm slow. Just gonna go with 1 micro here. Gonna go with 1 micro. Shooting for 16,590. I got it 580. We'll see if it gets up there. See if it retouches its high. I'm not confident in it. I'm not going off any of my normal signals. So that's why I only went in with 1 micro. If it stops me out, it's not going to hurt me. Yeah, see, big pullback here. Down 7 points since my entry. Ah, yeah, it's starting to move back up. Yeah, there we go. There's the momentum. '84. Got up to 86 so far, 86, 50. There we go. 88. It's 2 points away from highs. Pulling back. Bulls and bears are really fighting. Nope, could not reclaim that all-time high yet. Gold and copper trying to get some attention here. Let's see what's going on. Copper with a short signal, gold with a short signal. Copper just hit that all-time high and rejected. Not all-time high, I'm sorry. Daily high and rejected. NQ forming a doji candle here on the 5-minute. I'm back down. I was up about $10 on this trade. I'm back down to being down about $10. Still think it wants to go back up to the highs. Copper trying to get my attention again, but not sticking. Bouncing off the SMA. There we go. Another try for NQ coming back up. Back to 1585. I mean 16585. And we're shooting for 16590. There we go. It just hit. It bounced 16589 and it bounced off of there. So it just hit your profit target, the original profit target there, and then bounced. So I think it wants to break that 16590. It could like totally whack my brains out. Look at the Dom. Dom's moving fast and furious. We're back. We rejected back down to 82. It's trying again. Oh, there we go. It broke. It broke. All right, 591, 594. Can it hit 16600? Nope, we're back below 1590. So new all-time high is 16594. It's trying again. There it goes. 16595, 16596, 97. There we go. Look at that go. Yeah, I'm in. trailing the stop. It's starting to struggle here. There we go. Okay, I'm out of the trade now. Although it's I should have tried to stay in. It's still going. But I think that was the best trade I ever did on a micro. One micro. Let me find my stats here. It's still going. But $38.50. I should have given it more room to run. I thought it was going to pull back. But wow, this is a strong, this is a very strong move here. New all-time highs is 16,615. It's pulled back to 1610 right now. Seeing it's starting to exhaust a little bit here. $6.15. Let's see. It's trying. It just it's $6.16. Still trying to go up higher. 17. They say what goes up must come down, but lately the way this market is, I'm not sure that's true. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. Um, so pull back here by about 7 points. All time the hit a high of 617. Be interesting to see whether or not it pushes up to 620 or not. I didn't think it was going to go that much above 590. I thought we were going to get up to about 600 and then pull back, and it went well above. John, did you take any more? Did you take any other trades? Anybody out there take any trades? Definitely got some excitement there. That was fun. Wish I went in on the regular size contract. That ended up being, let's see, how much was that win? Executions. Yeah, it ended up being a 20-point win. So if I go in with a regular contract, that would have been $400. Excellent, Jay. How you doing with it? US 30. That's the Dow. Yep, Dow's heading down a bit. Russell's heading down. So that's interesting how the Russell and the Dow are not following the ES and the NQ. Although the, excuse me, actually ES is also heading downward. What did Tesla do while that was doing that? Tesla, I don't know. That really wasn't driven by Tesla. I'm not sure what's driving this NQ right now. Ah, excellent job, John. So you're up pretty well today now, aren't you? A couple $84 wins, $205 earlier, I think, and now 155. So you're about $500 up. Good job. Excellent. Things have kind of just calmed down now here after that excitement. But it's Friday, so you don't really know what's going to happen. Oh, that's even better. 524. Razzie got 680. Everyone's having a good day today. I'm up $38. It's kind of embarrassing, but hey, it's better than being red. So Nasdaq's giving back that last candle, basically. ES is actually giving me a short signal here, and Q is giving me a short signal. So are we going to give back the gains? That'd be interesting. We do have uptrending bands here on the 1 minute. It's got room to come down, but it's already now come down by 35 points. Yeah, Dow's coming down. Wow. Oh, wait, I'm on a daily chart. No wonder. Interesting how the Russell and the Dow are basically going opposite of what ES, but now all four are coming down. Although NQ isn't sure what it wants to do. Gold is just kind of going sideways. UltraBond, sideways-ish. Did send us a short signal. It's at about that same level that it sent. We could get in there. Showing a downward momentum there a bit. Kind of bouncing off the SMA line on the 5 though. Slight downward momentum on both natural gas and crude oil. This would have been about 35 points. Ticks. 35 points would be really something. Copper. That's an interesting. It sent this signal here, came all the way back, and then dumped down. That would have been enough to stop me out. That moved back up, and then go down. NQ trying to move back up again. Showing some green. Mean green. Anyway, John, don't get too upset with yourself for getting out too early. I mean, you're green. You got some green out of it. Nothing wrong with taking some profit before it before it turns against you. Oh no, Steven. What asset did you get into? NQ. Uh, are you long? How bad is the loser right now? Are you gonna cut it, or what are you doing? And are you doing some sort of evaluation? Are you in your own brokerage account with your own money, or are you just sim trading? Everything's kind of quieted down all of a sudden. Evaluation. What's your daily loss limit? What? Yeah, you don't want to keep getting yourself in trouble there. What's your daily loss limit on that evaluation, Stephen? Okay. Just be careful. Don't let your losers run too much. You don't want to get yourself in a hole that you can't dig out of. Russell. Russell's giving us a buy signal. It's an interesting little buy signal here. Might have to play that. Yep, that would be a bad buy signal. Not gonna play that. UB headed back up. Sent us a buy signal. I almost jumped on this short signal earlier. You can see that would have failed. This buy signal looking kind of good to me. Although my only concern is we're really near the actually, I need to move that line, I think. Yeah, we actually hit a new daily high earlier, and I somehow missed that. I had it wrong to begin with. Oh, man, a new daily high shortly after I drew the line. So right here, this is a resistance area though, right here. And I mean, that's 5 ticks away. So it does have some room. Did pull back here. What are you doing, Steven? You still in that trade, or did you cut it? I see NQ's kind of curling back up here, or trying to. Don't know if it has momentum to do so. You can see here on the 1 minute chart, on the volume profile here at the bottom, we've seen volumes slowly going down. We're all, seeing about a little about 1,200 each minute. Whereas back here at the open, we were seeing 7,000, 5,000. I think that's a good idea. Psychologically, it can be very hard to cut losers because you keep telling yourself, oh, it's going to come back, it's going to go my way. And then you get yourself down in this deeper, deeper hole that you can't dig out of. And it gets frustrating. And next thing you know, you're blown the evaluation, you're blown your confidence. Crude oil. Haven't heard from them in a while. Buy signal. Looks okay. Yeah, let's try it. Wait, what's before I do that? What's copper show? Copper also on a buy signal with downtrending bands. So we'll wait on that. But I like this crude. I did like that crude. Now it's in the third Bollinger Band. It's still going. Yep. Crude's indecisive. Uh, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to hit the mic. Did not try to blow out anybody's eardrums. Yeah, that would have been a bad buy signal. And once I saw it broke the third band, I hesitated. It was a good hesitation. NQ now has gone sideways here for the past 15 minutes or so. Not much action right now. John, you still here? You still trading? Or did you call it a day? This UB signal I said I kind of liked. Eh, it's up would be up 3 ticks right now. Actually, it would have stopped me out though at that 5 tick mark. So I was right not to take it. So maybe my stop should be a little wider. Yeah, everything's sideways. Everything's kind of blah right now. Although gold sent me a signal that I missed, but that was a move up like crude did into the bands. So definitely have seen the market kind of cool off here. NQ's still trading over its above its overnight high. It's kind of using that as that 16,590 level that it reached last night. It's kind of using that as support now. It's trying to curl up, back up. Remember the new high was 16 7. I'm sorry, 16,617. Try and get that right. Ah. No. Jay, are you still here? Are you still paper trading? Crude oil. So crude sent me that buy signal, which was a total bust, and now sent me a short. Yeah, it seems to be just straddling around the SMA and the 5. No real direction. Buy signal on natural gas. Ooh, sorry. Again, it hit the mic. How's it going, Jay? Up or down? So natural gas is sending us. It was. uh, both indeed, yes. Natty gas. Again, sending us that signal. If that signal holds, we're going to go in a sim trade. I'm not going to play on the Gauntlet account, but we'll play on the sim account just so we have something to look at. And I don't feel like I'm boring you all and giving you absolutely zero entertainment value. Magically, the chart appears up, and the signal goes away. Signal's back. It's indecisive. So we'll take the trade on sim. Honestly, I would never take this trade on regular because, matter of fact, I'm not even going to do it because I wouldn't take this trade normally. It's basically sideways, slightly uptrending. Hands are cold. hitting about 10:30 here. If nothing exciting happens in the next 15 minutes, we're probably going to cut this. And call it for the weekend. Remember, next week, Monday evening, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Friday morning. Yeah, we're gonna. I think we're just gonna cut it here. I'm not seeing anything. And oh, actually, a big move down here in the Nasdaq. Yeah, Steven, it looks like you did a good job there. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna call it here. Nasdaq, big move down, 30 points actually. A lot of things feels like it should work. Good luck on that, Jay. Keep me up to date. Uh, Big move down here on the Nasdaq all of a sudden. So I was just gonna cut it, but now we're kind of watching this. Steven, you did a great job on cutting that because you would have been in world of hurt here. And it's back below that 69 level we're looking at, well back below the highs. So it's interesting. Well, let's look at Tesla. Tesla didn't really do a dead drop like that. So Tesla seems to have less of a influence right now in NQ. But again, I'm not seeing anything I want to play here, so I think we're gonna call it. Call the stream for now. For today, we'll be back here Monday evening, and we'll see how the holiday week goes. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Have yourselves a great weekend. See you all next week. Bye.